Hi, everyone. We're a little early. Glad you guys are here. I was busy running around organizing the last one, so I didn't get to meet everybody. Where are you from, Jessica?
I teach at Oxford.
Oh, Oxford. Okay. And I should know that, I'm sure. But what do you teach?
I teach high school math.
Oh, we have a new math network.
I think I heard that. I think one of the guys that works at our school, his wife is part of it.
Oh, yeah. So that would be Dr. Stoddard?
Correct.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I she turned me on to this book yet last time I talked to her. I don't know
Oh,
if you
I'll
ever-
have to check it out.
Yeah, it's really cool. And she actually has another book that she was recommending.
Okay.
I never, I guess I think of math in a very traditional sense, and this is thinking about math differently. I'm like, I would have really liked math if I thought about it this way. That idea of math for human flourishing, like enriching the soul rather than it being a formulaic, like you're just, I don't know. Like solving problems is kind of cool too, but like, I don't know. It just approaches it differently.
Yeah.
So engaging.
And Bobby, where are you from?
Sherburne, Earlville.
Hey, the SE folks. Yay, we like Sherburne. What do you teach there?
Special education at the middle school.
I'm a special ed teacher by training. I taught for many, many years. What kind of class do you have?
Right now I consult in science and social studies, and I also have a 15-1 science and social studies class.
Science and social studies.
15.
Yeah, 15-1. Wow, that's big.
Other age?
It's like you have a bigger class than the other people?
Sometimes, yes.
That always made me laugh. I taught at Gilbertsville for many years, and yeah, I would, small schools. So I didn't have a big class, but then I would look at the other classes. I'm like, wait, they have less kids than I do.
To Kate for Kristen.
Yeah. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Dylan's off at Albany now.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, he's studying biochemistry, something I have no knowledge of.
Me neither.
I don't know how they got so smart.
I do.
Good genes.
Good genes. Yes.
I don't know about that, but we used to have quite good conversations, and we still do when they come home. And now they gotten to the point, like between him and Tyler, I can't keep up on their conversations. They are just so advanced. I'm like, how'd you guys learn this stuff?
Wow.
Good parent
Inquisitive.
encouragement. Yeah.
Inquisitive minds. That's great.
Yes, very much
Yeah.
so.
Oh, well, when you said that last week, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Actually, that wasn't me because I wasn't on the call last week because I was busy running around. So it was some of the guys in the office here that were on talking to you with my name.
Oh, I was tricked.
You were tricked, absolutely.
That's okay.
So what grade are you doing now?
I'm in second grade.
Oh, second grade. Very nice.
Mhm.
I think you were fourth when Dylan had you, I think.
Fifth. I think I had him in
Okay,
fifth
fifth.
grade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that was fifth.
And I always get a kick. I always have this memory very vivid that I was bowling and and you guys were bowling, and he saw me, and he was so scared he just like turned around at the bowling alley. I'll never forget that. I don't know why, but I always remember that. I thought it was so funny.
Scary teacher.
That's
That's
great.
right. You're like, oh no, my teacher's a real person. Ah, yeah, yeah.
Or
It's
it's
always
embarrassing.
Yeah,
Embarrassing because you're seeing me now out of school,
right.
student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They run up and hug you or they hide. Two reactions. Yep.
Right. I hope I
Yeah.
remember to give Gina the meeting link. Oh, there's Christy. Yeah. I hope I gave her the right calendar Zoom link. You guys all found it. Yep, she's on my thing, so she should know. Let me check my emails. Hi, Christy. How are you doing? Yep. Now, are you around, Christy? I know you're often driving or doing something.
Oh, I see Christy still has the audio that
Service-
doesn't work.
Oh,
So
is it still spinning?
Her
she's
service
still
stuff.
she's just gonna be in the chat.
Ah.
So my service stuff still sucks.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, if
where-
I go in the corner of my classroom, I don't have internet service, which is funny because on the other side are all the servers, the other side of the wall. Those are the servers. But
Ah.
if I go in that corner, I have no service. It's just so funny.
Those things are just so bizarre. I remember during the whole COVID thing, I was talking to somebody from Stanford, and I think she was the only one in the entire district that didn't have service, but her house was like right under the cell tower.
Wow. That's crazy. My old house didn't have service, but the new place where I live, there's you get one bar. So I'm like, yay,
Oh,
I can
wow.
send a text message. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't tend to have problems with service where we are.
I
We're right
do,
in town,
I do.
though.
No, I do.
Do you really?
It goes out 2 bars, yeah.
Huh, where is Gina? IRB meeting, that's not today, right? Hope not. Huh. Hopefully she's jumping on soon. Oh, I don't have my phone with me, I can't text her. I wonder if she's having cell trouble. Oh, there she is.
Hi, I don't know why it's so hard to join the Zoom meetings every time.
I was just going, I hope I remember to give her the Zoom link.
It's like I tried the first one, then I try the second one, and then I try the third one, and then I go back to the first one.
Was there a whole bunch of links?
Well, in the invite, there's like 2 or 3 different ones, and so I'm like
no.
panicking, like they keep trying to open up in different I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secret. I don't normally have a problem with Zoom, so
Huh. Yeah, I'm more comfortable and familiar with Zoom. We could always do the
no, it's fine. I just have to start logging in sooner. So yeah, so I'm not not doing this. All right. Okay.
So we did have a couple of meeting adjustments, right? So do you want to run that down those meeting adjustments, or I'm not sure if I can remember them off the top of my head. It was April.
Yeah, give me 1 second and I'll pull up the flyer and I'll share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. And we'll go through a couple of quick announcements. We just have a couple of, okay, come on, work with me here. A couple of dates that we needed to change. Okay. All right, so let's see, share screen. Okay. All right, so let's see, we needed the 4/18 date was changed, and I believe 5/16 was changed. Let's see.
That was 5/25 before.
Yeah, wait, this one.
That was 4/11 at one point, but it may have gone in as 4/18, so it may not be a change for you guys.
Let me look. Okay.
5/15.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the 11th right here. So I thought you changed it and it was correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
this is,
put up an old one.
yeah, I don't know. I just grabbed the first email that popped up with your name and the flyer. So let me check that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I have got so much stuff open. Okay. So anyway, so that it has been changed to the 11th. Let's see. I can check one more time.
Which was the 11th? Which month?
Um, the 18th, integrating micro credentials has been changed to the 11th.
Oh, okay. Okay. It is still on the flyer as the 18th.
Okay. Yeah, that's the oh no, I'm sorry. The 18th. No, yeah,
Is
the
correct, right?
18th is correct. Yeah, the 11th was
Yeah.
wrong. So that is correct. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah, the 18th is correct. So the dates on the flyer are now correct.
And that's all been changed to Frontline, so you guys who have registered through Frontline should get the emails of reminders through Frontline with the correct dates.
Okay, great. All right, so let's go ahead and get started if there's anything else that we need to cover.
Cool.
No, we're good? Okay. So welcome everyone. Tonight we're talking about using artificial intelligence tools responsibly in the classroom. And this is obviously a very hot topic right now, and it's kind of seems to be all we're concerned with and we're worried about as educators in every level, in elementary, secondary, and in higher ed as well. So hopefully you have questions tonight that I can help to answer, as well as share some ideas of how to use it. What's important to note is that AI is not going anywhere, and we can't avoid it, just like we can't avoid using the internet. It's here to stay. It's going to be part of our technology culture from here on out. And so outlawing it, banning it is not the right approach to AI, as much as it makes you nervous. And so just like we had to adapt our teaching and our learning skills with the internet, and how worried we were when that came out and thought, all of this terrible cheating. And yes, if people want to be dishonest, they're going to be dishonest and unethical, and there's nothing we can do about that. But with AI, there's a lot of great benefits to it. And when used correctly and responsibly, it can really generate some exciting things. It can promote productivity. It's being used in science and engineering and the STEM areas heavily. So if you're a STEM teacher, learning to use AI is beneficial versus just saying, no, it's terrible. So I'm one of those promoters of using AI correctly. So hopefully you didn't come to hear somebody bash AI, because that's not tonight. So hopefully we'll have some good ideas for you. Let's go ahead. All right. So here's just some general guidelines. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger here. Okay. Some general guidelines is that that students need to be taught the importance of doing original work. And so that hasn't changed with the internet, that hasn't changed with AI. When using a parent, a friend, or anyone copying, using somebody else's work and turning it in as your own is cheating. And there's lots of forms of cheating. And if students are going to use AI to do their work for them, that's a form of cheating and or plagiarism, depending on if they're submitting, something, like a paper, research paper, or something like that for a scholarship or whatnot. So that really needs to be instilled, even more so than before, is that there's a role and a way to use AI appropriately, but turning anything in that you didn't do correctly or you didn't originate is unethical and it's wrong. So as teachers and educators, we want to show and demonstrate how to use AI correctly. And so there's times where AI can be very helpful when looking for resources, other sources for research articles or materials or projects. But providing that attribution is really important. So the attribution to the source of any AI generated content needs to become standard practice. The same way if you were presenting or doing a research project and you have to cite your sources, whether you're doing MLA, APA, Chicago Turabian, whatever you're teaching, but usually in K-12 they're using MLA. Students should be honest about their use of AI in their assignments. So if you're using scare tactics, they're not going to really be encouraged to be honest about their AI use. So for example, today with my class, we talked about using AI, and I said, if you're going to use it to generate ideas, to brainstorm, that's fine, but you need to document that in your assignment that you used AI and what the sources were. That they have to just give attribution. And I'm going to show you one AI tool today that does provide the sources. ChatGPT, I think they're there. I haven't looked recently, but in Perplexity, that one provides the sources a lot easier. Number 4 is that AI can be biased, and I'm sure you've heard this before, that it has a tendency to promote biased and discriminatory language. So that would be a good exercise to show your students, like if you were to have it write a paragraph on a topic that you're learning about. Typically, the men are white and things like this, and so the pronouns are usually male, so there's just some bias in it, and which is another reason where students get caught when they just copy and paste from AI into their own work, because it doesn't sound like them, and it usually is highly biased. Number 5, evaluating sources is necessary when using any AI generated tool. So if you're going to use a tool, an AI writing tool, and you're going to put in a paragraph, or ask it to write a paragraph. See, that's what I'm trying to push away from my students. But if you wanted to do that, you need to make sure that you're citing the sources and you're evaluating those sources, because they're pulling from who knows on the web, and the sources can be reliable or they can be false. So even though it might generate something for you, or writing a business letter or something like that, it's still worth it to show your students, like, this is how you find where the sources came from. Number 6 is that students should use precaution to protect their personal information when using AI. So just as you teach them about online digital citizenship, it's really important that you're letting them know that when you take something that you wrote and you created and you put it into an AI, it's now part of their database and you lose control of it. That's should be a big concern. That it's now out there. Instead of keeping it, you know, in your Google Drive or in your OneDrive, you've now shared it, you know, with the world. Plagiarism checkers like Turnitin have been very controversial, even though they have AI checkers. They also do a lot of data mining, and they sell data. And so the more students and teachers upload papers to Turnitin to check plagiarism and things like that, you're also giving them access and complete content, all of the content to your paper. So you need to be careful on what information you're putting into the AI. Make sure it's not personal information. Make sure students know that to not put in personal information into AI, because once you release that information, you don't know what somebody's going to do with it. Number 7, responsible practice and skills are essential so that students are using AI within the purview of their teacher. So I'll be talking about some ideas later on about using AI with your students, but this is what I'm talking about, is that you're showing them how to use it. You're modeling it with your students. When you're starting an assignment, that you're going to use an approved AI tool, that you show them how to use it and use it responsibly. So just saying, don't use it, that's not going to be the right approach. Is showing them how to use it responsibly and modeling that ethical use. And then number 8, making sure that students are staying compliant with any laws or regulations, especially school rules, policies when using AI. And again, just to be so careful about protecting data and what information that you're giving that AI tool. Any questions right now? All right. Okay, so we'll move on. All right, so the next couple of slides give some ideas for ethical uses for AI. So some of the more popular AI tools are ChatGPT. There's Bing Copilot, like I mentioned, Perplexity. Let's see if you guys can think of another one or two, go ahead and unmute and share it with us. I think those are some of the big ones right now. I know I've opted into a Google AI pilot program, so I have AI in my Google Drive. I don't use it very much though, but we're starting to see it pop up more and more. I have an app that I used to communicate with my students. It's called WhatsApp, and now they have Meta AI on there that can generate your text for you. So you're just seeing it everywhere. It's crazy. All right, so again, just reiterating the importance of being transparent with your students about what tools they can and can't use in the classroom. Same with what websites they can and can't use and other online tools and resources. So if you choose to allow them, inform them how they will use them and what the responsibilities are. So if they're going to use ChatGPT, then this is, you know, how they have to show that they used it. Like, let them know how to be ethical and honest and transparent about their use of it. It's important to teach students now earlier than ever what plagiarism is and the consequences. People's careers are ruined, jobs, you know, their reputations are ruined. You know, we're seeing a lot of plagiarism and issues, people generating, you know, articles generated by AI and trying to publish them, and things like that. So it's also, again, if they're going to have it write a paragraph and then copy and paste that directly in, that's the plagiarism. Like, we don't want them to get into that habit. So, so again, going back to, if you're going to use an AI tool, you got to check the AI sources that they use to generate that content. AI can be a good tool for brainstorming ideas and promoting creativity. It really can. So if you're teaching a writing assignment and students need ideas for the protagonist, for challenges that a cowboy might face in the Wild West, that would be a great prompt for ChatGPT to give it some scenarios, brainstorming, problem solving, trying to like kind of get the ideas flowing. Those are great ways to use ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that you choose. So showing them that you're using it to generate ideas and not to do the work for you, is trying to get your ideas going so you can originate that work. All right, so here's some ways that I've used it. And if you guys want to see examples of anything, please let me know. And I'm happy to jump on one of the AI tools. Depending on time, I'll be showing and modeling some things later on as well. Have any of you ever used an AI tool for writing feedback? Have you played with ChatGPT for writing feedback? So that can be interesting. In higher ed, we kind of have longer assignments, but I've put in maybe a couple, 2 or 3 paragraphs, and it's, please, and at the top of the prompt, it says, please provide feedback for the following passages, writing feedback. The more specific you are in your prompt and what you're asking it to do, the better the results are going to be. Just like the more specific you are in an internet search, the more specific your results are going to be. Using it for writing feedback is good. If that's something that you would do on their paper, so if they're going to submit something to you and that's something that you would do, that's okay. They're trying to improve their writing. So if they're using it to get ideas. So today in my class, I was talking to them like, you can take your paragraph and put it in, and then see, maybe find a couple sentences that you like how it rewrote it maybe a little bit better, and use a couple of those, but you're not taking and replacing that whole paragraph. Okay, so you're just trying to get some feedback on a couple of areas of your writing that you're maybe stuck in and you don't feel like it sounds very good. So asking AI to paraphrase a passage. So if you have a website online that has, a lot of text and a lot of reading, you can take sections of it and put the prompt in, please paraphrase the following section. And that's a nice way to do that. And that's a good tool. I'm going to be showing you a tool today where it actually simplifies text passages. So in K-12, where we have lots of students with 504s and IEPs that struggle maybe to read text at the grade level, there are tools out there where if you have the content digitally or you've typed it out or you can find it online, you can copy and paste it into this tool and it'll simplify it down. So it'll make it easier for your English language learners, your special education students that struggle with reading. That's a positive use for AI. And you're not doing something that you're taking credit for. I'm not going to take that simplified passage and then publish it under my name. So you're just using it for a job or a task. Hopefully that makes sense to you. There are multiple tools out there for AI for translating a document into a different language. I'm seeing this more and more on more apps and more websites, and maybe you've seen this too, where you can upload an assignment and it'll translate it for you. Has anybody had any experience doing any of these tasks with an AI tool? Could you
Gina?
unmute, please? Yeah.
And Amy, I've noticed with some of the programs at the bottom, it says make more professional, make more humanistic. Different ones have different prompts at the better and not at the bottom. And I've tried all of them for the same thing. And it could be a good way to teach different students when you're talking about the analysis of literature, because the writing styles are different. Sometimes not so much, it depends what you're putting in, but there was a huge difference between writing something on a professional tone and writing something for a young child. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, your voice is different, your vocabulary is different. Your use of contractions will be absent in the academic professional writing where you might use that with your students. For sure. Has anyone used AI to translate a document, story?
was just gonna ask, do you have a program that you can recommend that does that?
Yeah, I'm gonna show it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's
Thank you.
more of a teacher productivity tool, so not one so much that the students would use.
Okay.
And I think that's a safe way to start for teachers who are just trying to learn about the capabilities of AI before kind of branching out to letting their students. I think we need to get comfortable with it first, right? before we say, okay, students, now you can use such and such. So we're going to look at some tools later on. So like I said, some other AI activities is modeling its use in front of your students. So today I'm going to model some uses of it for you. Teach students how to ask the AI tool questions. Use generative AI tools to spark the imagination. And there's lots of different programs out there. And you can just Google generative AI images and you'll get like a dozen or more websites that will generate images for you. And I think that would be so fun to have a student, have text to image. So put in, cat astronaut or something on Mars or whatever, and generate an image and then use that to spark a creative writing piece, for example. So think of all the different ways that you use images and how students can have it create a unique creative image to go along with something that they're writing about or they're researching. I think that would be really, really exciting. And we can play with some of those today, depending on time. Canva and Adobe Express are two good ones. But again, sometimes just Googling them, some free ones will turn up. So AI can also be a really good way to ask questions, just asking questions. So sometimes when you ask questions, like on Google, you get a variety of websites, and then you have to sit there and kind of sift through them, right? We've done this before, like what's a good recipe for leftover ham, right? Because we buy this ham, we have all these leftover ham, we don't know what to do with all the extra ham. And you have to sort through multiple websites to find something you like. Whereas in an AI tool, it'll just put all the answers right there in just one place, and it's a lot easier to sort through. Having students use AI to ask it any questions like, why do we blink? Science questions. If they ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, but like, hey, students, let's try Chat GPT or let's try an AI tool and see what it says. Because we can't fake like we don't know all the answers. and so it's okay to look for them with your students to modeling correct use. AI tools are being used in every industry. We have driverless cars now. They're being used in engineering. They're used in marketing. They're used in travel. I mean, they're on Amazon. They're predicting our shopping patterns. They're suggesting products that we should buy based on our browsing history. Like it's everywhere, whether you realize it or not. And so it's really important, like so important that we're showing them how to use it, because their future jobs and careers, they're going to be using AI. It's going to be part of technology. So here's I don't know if you've heard of Bing Copilot, but this is a really neat AI tool. And so this is Microsoft Bing Copilot, okay? And we can try Copilot now, but we can click on just one of these things. We can try one of these, or if somebody else has a different challenge for it, unmute and let me know. What would you guys like to try? We're going to test out Bing right now. Should we choose one of these prompts down here?
Let's go on a vacation.
Yeah.
Let's go on a vacation. Okay. So we're going to use it to plan a vacation. All right. So it's time for family vacation. We would love to take a trip across Europe, focusing on food, art, culture. Can you suggest 3 cities? This would technically be your prompt. Okay. That's what the user would be typing in. Okay. And so it's modeling how to use it. And so sure, Europe is a great place to visit for food, art, culture. Here are 3 cities you might want to consider: Paris, Florence, and Barcelona. And actually, you can do all 3 on one trip to Europe. So I've done it before. So so here we have some ideas, some suggestions here. We can continue with the conversation. So this is kind of like choose your own adventure, or we can try Copilot. So should we try it on our own, or do we want to continue the conversation?
Continue.
Okay, continue the conversation. What are some of the best kid-friendly museums in each city? And so now we have this nice list here. Hopefully you see how neat and easy this is compared to typing that same question in the internet, and then you have to sort through a dozen different websites. Like that's what we do now. That's what we're used to, is putting in our question and then having to sift through multiple different websites. So if you just want the information, try the AI tool and see what it says. All right, so now we're going to try it with Copilot. So we're going to try Copilot. Okay. And so it looks like being, oh, I need to link my account. Let's see if we can do that. I probably need to go in under a different browser and use it. Let's go back. I am logged in though, so I don't know why it's because it's because I'm presenting and doesn't want to work for me. Okay, but you can try Copilot on Microsoft. Okay, Copilot with data protection, do more with AI, AI for everyday use, Copilot and Edge. So maybe I could pull it up in Edge, but this is one chat tool or one AI tool that's really easy to use, and but you have to obviously log in for it. Okay, so that's being Copilot, and try this one. Will even create a sports image. Let's see what that does. Create an image of a goat wearing a jersey with the number 10. Have them standing in front of a soccer goal with fireworks going off in the background. So that sounds like fun. I'll try to create that. And here we have 4 different images of the goat. So hopefully you see that this prompt is very specific. And so the more specific it is, the better the result. Okay. All right, let's go back here, and we're going to jump to let's see. Okay, this is a really great slide because I have 2 lists here, and I have a list for AI teacher tools and then AI student tools. Okay. Does everybody, are you familiar with Quizlet? Okay, Quizlet has AI prompts now and tools. Kahoot does, like pretty much all of these teacher tools that we're using to generate content has AI. So if you haven't been to one of these lately, it's worth your time to try it out again and try to have AI save you, 30 minutes to create whatever kind of a study set you need. Nearpod has AI, Socrative, Formative, Quizzes, VoiceThread, ScribeSense or Scribble, that's a writing tool. Canva, Google Bard. So that's Google's AI is Google Bard. And so if you're a Google school, maybe that would be one that you want to try. It's not as good as some of the others. It's more in beta version right now. It's for whatever reason, it's not accessing as much content as like ChatGPT is and some of the other ones. And Gradescope. For students, I think everyone's heard of Grammarly. I just heard the other day, I think it was yesterday, the day before, that Grammarly, if you have like an upgraded version, a paid version, this is something to be aware of, that it'll write paragraphs for students now. And so an instructor was saying, yeah, I had to talk to a student about like their paper was plagiarized with AI. And they said, well, Grammarly helped me to write it. And they went in to investigate, and it's offering to like write sections now. So that's not great for us. But something to be aware of in case, you're wondering where this is coming from. Alexa, obviously Siri, a lot of teachers have those in the classroom. Some schools allow it, some schools don't. But these are really fun AI assistants that students can just use their voice to do, to ask a question. But think of like, I'm assuming all of us have either Alexa or Siri or the Google Nest. That's what it is. Google Nest. Do we all have one of those at home? Most of us? No, no. Well, I have Alexa in some rooms and I have a Google Nest in the other. And so I would suggest, like, if whatever you're asking your Alexa assistant or your Google Nest, those would be great questions to ask your AI tool, because those are AI as well. Cogni, Google Translate, Wolfram Alpha, Duolingo, Google Docs, Magic AI tool. So that's what I was talking about, how you can opt in to and if you're interested, I can show you what it looks like. Do you guys want to see the Google AI? Yes? Okay. All right. So we'll open up. I've got a million things in my Google Drive. Okay. So we'll go here and let's see. All right. So we're gonna, let's see. All right. We'll just go into opening up a new doc right now. Okay. All right. So because I've opted in, this is my AI tool up here. Do you see that? Help me write. And so I have meeting notes. It's flashing there. Email draft, and then more options. Also up here, this Do It AI. So that's their AI assistant. Have you noticed in many websites and tools now, these little magic like sparks or flecks? It's right up here. If I get close, it turns white, but it's right next to my profile image. So that means I have my AI assistant is working in the background. Okay. So we'll go ahead and click Help Me Write. So this is not automatically on everyone's Google Drive. I just want to make sure that you understand that you have to opt in and give it permission for the AI to work in the background. And if you're interested in this would be something to talk to your school's IT person or whoever manages your Google accounts to see if that's something that you want or that's something that you don't want. I don't know. So, okay, so we have here, help me write, create a table on the top. We can interview a thank you letter. So we're going to say, help me write a letter of recommendation for a student who wants to travel to Europe. All right. So we'll see what it does. All right. So here, that took, I don't know, 5 seconds. Typing that would have probably taken me a whole lot longer than 5 seconds. And to whom it may concern, so let's go ahead and just read through quickly, maybe evaluate this. And I probably won't read through all of it, but I'm writing to enthusiastically recommend, put in the student name for opportunity to travel to Europe. Having known, we'll say Susan, for the past blank years. So hopefully you got to go in and, do some editing, right? Through my role as teacher, whatever, I'm confident they possess the qualities and attributes that will make their journey a valuable and enriching experience. I know I hope it doesn't sound terrible, but I really like using AI to write letters of recommendation because from time to time we get asked that by our students, and it's just one of those time-consuming things. And Anita will nod and say, yeah, because it can take maybe an hour to write one of these because you're like, oh, what else do I say? So if we like this, okay, and assuming we've read through it, and we can rate the suggestion. And so this is a creative writing aid. It is not intended to be factual. So that's kind of nice. Then you can click here to learn more about that. So we'll say, hey, it looks great. And then if I want to use that, I can insert it in, and then here's refining it. So elaborate, make it longer, add bullets, summarize, change the tone. So maybe we'll change it to formal. And so Amy was talking about using some of those tools to change the tone, change, you know, the audience. And so we'll say, yep, we like this. And then we can put it in. And then of course, you know, you can go in and, you know, change the font and all of those good things. Add your letterhead on it or whatnot. So that's Google's. And up here we can click on their Ask AI Duet. And so here's a summary. I'm recommending student name for the opportunity to travel. And then there's really, let's see, do it, can't reference calendar or chat yet. Check dates and times for accuracy. So what's the purpose of this letter? What are the qualifications of student? And so maybe I can give it some more information here. So I can say, so maybe when you want to add this paragraph, okay. So we can say that, you know, say the student can speak Italian. So here it's now, we can add this paragraph in if we want to. When there's specific examples of students' participation extracurricular. So we can answer that, and then maybe it'll generate a paragraph if we want to add that to have more specifics. So, I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I haven't used this a whole lot, but it's there and it's free to opt into if you're interested in playing with it and just exposing yourself to it. And it's a very mild use, but again, it wrote my content for me. And so we have to be careful. Like, we don't want, you know, to assign students, write a story or, you know, do research on something and have them turn that in. So, we're using it for productivity and not, you know, for publishing and things like that. So that's Google's. Another one I want to show you today, we're going to be testing out a couple of tools. And if you want to try out ChatGPT, and we can try out ChatGPT in the last 20 minutes, or if you feel like you want more experience with that, the other options are Perplexity. And the reason why I mention this is because Perplexity actually provides the sources. So if you want something that's more maybe legitimate, easier to identify the sources of where the AI tool is pulling the content, Perplexity is a really good tool for that. Whereas ChatGPT, again, it's not as easy to find the sources of where it's getting its information from. So perplexity.ai, again, it's one that if I even put it in my syllabus, like if you're going to use an AI tool, then use Perplexity, because I want you to cite your sources and it'll provide your sources for you. The other one that I just kind of showed, well, this is Google Bard, so that would open up a whole different page. It's not in Google Drive. That's just using it as an AI tool. And let's see, Magic School AI. So this is the one that has the text simplifier. And it has, I think, like 50 different tools for teachers. And so again, this isn't having students use it, but this is using AI to prepare materials for students to use. Does anybody here in this group have any experience using Magic School yet? A little bit? Okay, so you're gonna love this. Everyone's gonna want to make an account. I have a free account. Okay, so what you're going to see is absolutely free, and those are all the recommendations and businesses that support it. Oh, my Magic School trial has ended. Okay, let's see. All right, we'll just have the free version. Okay. So chatbots, if you don't know, chatbots is another name for an AI assistant. Okay. And how long does it take for you to create a rubric? That's a time-consuming teacher task. And AI can generate rubrics for you. I love that. It will summarize YouTube videos. It provides multiple choice, like you can have it write a multiple choice quiz. So we're going to try some of these so you guys kind of look at what some of the options here, and assuming I still have access, we'll show you. It'll generate lesson plans, report card comments. it's the text rewriter. So take any text and rewrite it with a custom criteria of how you'd like. So maybe adding more adjectives or using more formal language or something like that. Generate original informational text for your class customized to the topic of your choice. So if you want them to learn about the Roman, what's it called? Colosseum. Parthenon came to mind, and other European landmarks, or a specific place or whatnot. Rubric generator, we mentioned that. We have here IEP generator, writing an email. This is that text summarizer that I was telling you about, and text translator. It does teacher jokes even. I mean, they're not great, but it'll write jokes for you. Math, story, word problems, if that's something that you teach and you sit there and it takes forever to come up with an original word problem, you have a helper right here. Generate song lyrics. This is kind of fun because you can put in the prompt and then give it a song, like a Taylor Swift song or something, and then it'll generate lyrics that you can sing to that tune. So, if you want to have some fun with AI, you can do it on Magic School. Unit plan, Jeopardy review game, choice board, text proofreader. Okay, so this will correct grammar, spelling, punctuation, and add clarity. Math spiral review, project-based learning. Are you guys like, oh my gosh, like hopefully you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many tools. Like this is kind of like the one-stop shop for teachers. And if you don't know about it, then try it out and pass it along to your colleagues, because this will probably be the one thing that you guys take away tonight is Magic School. Decodable text, multiple explanations, sentence starters. I mean, there's just, the list goes on, and I'm going to assume I don't necessarily have access to all of these because apparently my upgraded version ended. But let's see, let's try a multiple choice test, because this is something that we do all the time. Okay, so this is really easy. Also, Raina's together chatbot. All right, so we have pre-K and then technically up to university level. I've showed this before with a group of professors, and they weren't quite convinced that the questions it generated were were challenging enough. But what grade would we like to test out today? Grade 5. Okay. All right, 5th grade, and number of questions, we'll say 5. Okay, so we need to give it a topic, and we can even add a standard. So if you know like the specific New York standard for science or language arts or something. So let's see. All right, so we're going to do a quiz on okay, the first 5, all right, the first 2 chapters of, okay, not a very complicated prompt. Oops, now it's correcting me there. Okay. All right, so we'll give it a second here. And there we go. Plus an answer key, folks. What, you gotta love that. So now you have to read through, or the teachers, right? We need to read through and see if these are even questions that are usable, ones that you even want, to challenge your students on. In which city is the story primarily set? So we have a question on setting. Okay. Who is the narrator of the story? What is the name of the mansion owned by Jay Gatsby? Who is Daisy's husband, and what are the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg described as? So we have, maybe a metaphor or simile here, simile probably. So 5th grade, not that you'd be reading Great Gatsby in 5th grade. We can go back and maybe somebody can tell me a 5th grade text. I'm trying to think. Nothing's coming to mind. But
Esperanza Rising is
okay.
a New
All right,
York
yeah,
State.
I taught that in middle school. All right, so we'll go back and we'll do this again. 5th grade, 5 questions. Okay. quiz about the first 2 chapters of Esperanza Rising. Because 5 questions for an entire novel really isn't something we would do anyways. All right. So, and then just, we'll go over that again, but down here we have additional, like if we want to filter it or make it more complex, what are some other quizzes available? You can explore that. Can you provide more questions? So if we want, like, we don't like these as much, it'll generate other ones. I also want you can edit the prompt. So if you're like, oh, it needs to be more specific, and we can go back, and then we have other actions here. So if we do have English language learners, we can translate this text, and we can, add more questions, create, change the length, summarize, and do other things like that. So, I mean, what a great tool here. So we have, what is the setting? How does Esperanza feel about her life at the beginning of the story? Who is Esperanza's best friend in Mexico? What event occurs that changes Esperanza's life dramatically? And which social class does Esperanza's family belong to in Mexico? And then here's our answer key. And so what I've done is, I just copy this over onto my document. Obviously I don't give students the answer key, or it also has this right here, the copy tool. Like I can just copy it there instead of having to select it. I'm just in that habit of selecting everything. You can save this resource. Okay. So maybe we'll click save this, and we'll say, okay, so now it's saved. If I want to come back and continue working on it, add more questions, build on it, something like that. All right, so let's go back and explore another tool. So what other tool are you curious about? Are you interested in that text leveler, this one right here? Because that was mentioned earlier. We can try that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, 5th grade. All right, original text. What is something I can find online that would be something 5th graders might be reading? I'm just gonna type in, I don't know. Short stories for middle school. We'll just say that, or for 5th graders. And we're not necessarily going to find the stories written. Let's see, Ricky Tikki Tavi. I need to find something, a text I can select. Short, maybe essays. Or we can go to like a website about a topic that you would teach in 5th grade, just something I need to find a topic, something I can grab.
It's saying The Giver is a book that they
Giver.
read in 5th grade.
Can I find that online?
Yep.
Like the text?
A child called It, they read sometime. That's online. I think The Giver is online.
Oh, we can also look at the Google's books. Okay, the Giver. It's maybe this is it. Goodreads. Oh,
Yeah. Think so,
okay.
yeah.
Want to read. Okay. All right. We're just gonna
The
grab.
division to Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. We're just gonna grab this just for time's sake. It's on Wikipedia. All right. And so maybe we have this much information. Okay, to provide background to the story. Okay, so here's the original text. And
That's so cool.
so here's that. Okay, so we're going to click generate. And we'll give it 5 seconds. Okay, so our original, okay, The Giver, 1993, American Young Adult, dystopian novel written by Lewis Laurie. So very, very complex, you know, a lot of text here, and it summarized it down to four or five smaller paragraphs. And then you can rate it. You can, you know, add additional questions. So that's one idea, but you need to have that text to put in. So that's the thing. But if you do, like, what a great way and what a time saver to simplify it. Because I remember in the classroom, like, oh, this group of students would read this book and this group of students would have to read this simpler book, or short story or whatever. But if you know, if you have the ability to simplify it, this is also a great way to maybe create study aids or study guides for your students, or to summarize things to help them to prepare, you know, for a test or a quiz or whatnot. We have time for one other tool, unless we want to go and jump into like Chat GPT, and I can show you some ways to use that. There's just so much here on Magic School. You know, you want to look at the teacher jokes, generating an IEP, look at the math story word problems, maybe a choice board. Really, the rubric generator is fantastic. So,
There was a restorative practice one in there I was kind of curious about.
which one?
There was a restorative practice, like scroll down.
Okay.
Where did I say that?
Like I said, this is an
Restorative
amazing.
reflection.
Okay. Create a student reflection assignment based on restorative practices for disciplinary incidents. Okay. All right, let's try that. Hopefully it's not in the upgraded version. So 5th grade, number of questions. All right, so so this is nice. The specific details of what the student was involved in and any other relevant information. So the student was writing on the walls in the bathroom. All right, we'll just say that. What do you think, Erin? Reflect on your behavior of writing on the walls in the bathroom using the principles of restorative practices. How did your behavior of writing on the walls in the bathroom affect others? Why was writing on the walls in the bathroom not respectful and responsible? What actions can you take to make amends for your behavior and prevent it from happening again in the future? And again, I could have gone back and said 5 questions. I could have gone back and said 10 questions.
Oh, click that one that says, can you provide any tips?
All right. Oh, it's upgrade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I need funding. I need funding. Yeah. So yeah, so restorative reflection. And again, I mean, it saves us time. If we're having to come up with stuff off the top of our head, sometimes it takes forever to come up with these things. So Magic School is great. And let me go back to one of the other ones. Here are some like tasks that you could do with your students to teach them how to use AI. Like I said, modeling it. Take an email that you wrote and put it in and ask it to revise it or to translate it into a different language. So this is ChatGPT. Perplexity can be used in all the same tasks. So use it for brainstorming. So if we're always doing that as teachers, we're asking students to do it. And especially like when we're writing, sometimes ideas just don't pop into our head. And so having it to brainstorm to kind of get the creative juices flowing. Generate a debate or discussion topic. So you put in what you're talking about in your class. What's the debate on? And it'll help create that. It actually will create a quiz, just like Magic School did. You can put in the text, or you can, if it's something you can find online or it's popular, like Great Gatsby or something. I've done that before. I'm just testing it, create a 10-question quiz on the Scarlet Letter or something like that. I've even put in to Magic School, the one we just did, to create a quiz, and I put on in the specific New York State standard or the digital literacy standards. Remember that last time? Erin, I used Magic School to create the quiz at the end of the presentation. I just put in the standards and it did it. So, like I mentioned earlier, to give feedback on an essay or writing assignment. So students write it first, and then you can put it in the Chat GPT, whichever AI tool you're using, and then you can read it and compare the two and to see what you like better. If there's certain sentences you want to revise. Ask it to design a 20-minute lesson plan on a specific topic. That's really fun to do because, you know, we have to come up with lesson plan ideas all the time. If that's something you're like, oh, I don't know what to do on how to teach X, Y, and Z, try ChatGPT or try, you know, an AI tool. Ask it to write a business letter or a letter of recommendation, or an email to parents about a specific topic. Ask what are the best tech tools for your grade and content area. Just like something you're curious about, whatever you're curious about, you can ask it questions. So, and then surprise us, like, you know, give students a little bit of time, or you know, explore a little bit and to see what you can find and what it'll generate for you. So that is the 5 o'clock. We're at the top of the hour. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but this has been so fun. Does anybody, I haven't followed the chat, so does anybody have any questions for me? Well, thank you for coming. If there's no questions, Erin, would you like to turn the time back over to you?
I don't think I have anything in particular to
All
say.
right.
Just
Okay.
thank everyone for coming, and yeah, thanks, Gina. That was fun.
Yeah, the next one is February 1st. So it's on using the SAMR model for curriculum design. So the SAMR model is a technology integration model. So that'll be fun. All right, everyone, have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.